Yeah, it was Willesden Cemetery.
Why?
What?
I think it was just a nice picture.
Oh, right.
We've already done Kiddush with the children on Zoom. We've already Zoomed. It's lovely. Every Friday night, we Zoom with Ben and Patsy and the children and Shosh and Gideon and the children. It's very special. Very lovely. We've been doing it for 4 or 5 weeks now. We've been doing this. It's very special.
Lovely.
Very lovely.
Right, I'm muting you now, darling.
No, don't.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. And thank you for logging in to Barnett's Kabbalat Shabbat. We begin with Yedid Nefesh on page 200. I should remember this by heart by now. On page 256 in the Green Sidurim. And I'm looking forward to sharing the beginning of Shabbat, or just welcoming Shabbat with all of you. We'll get to the part of Kabbalat Shabbat just before we actually bring in Shabbat, and then we'll share some thoughts together, and then I'm going to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. So, Yedid Nefesh on page 256. Yedid Nefesh Avarachamam Mishar Chavtecha Eretz Einecha Yaretz Chavtecha Kemaya Yesh Tachaveret Amol Adaracha Yeramla Yedid Aisecha Minat Pesach Vechata Adonai Ay Zepayla Nafshecha Elas Amasecha Refanala Beharais Lama Nayam Zevacha Ostis Hazek Vestis Rapet V'hayesana Simchas Adha Vasik Yemuna Ayarachamecha V'chosana Abinahuvecha Ki Zakama Nefsati Le'eras V'seferes Zecha Chamda Livi V'chosanama Le'atesanam Yigalena Ayayopros Chavilayalai Etzokas Shelayrecha Taireret Mitchaydecha Nagila V'nismachava Mahereha Kivama Ve'lechaneina Enkiveyayla Yirilaylaylayla 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 Yam bum 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 Yiridum bum 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 Yiridum bum 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 Yiridum bum 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 Yiridum bum 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 Yiridum bum 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 Yam ba da 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 Yam bum bum da Always have a spare ready. Abayim Shana Akot V'do V'alma Hamtei Levavhem V'hem Lo Yadod Arafai Hashem Nishbati Yapim Yavoyon Amanofasi Shiro Ladoinoi Shir Kodosh Shiro Ladoinoi Kol Haaretz Shiro Ladoinoi Baruch Shemai Vastro Meyam Yam Yeshua Safro Vagayim Kevin Vavadai Vachol Amim Neflos Abalalaki Gadol Ladoinoi Vavamodamai Noira Al-Kol Elohim Alalala Kikol Eloi Ha'amim Melileh V'Adonai Shamayim Asa Hay V'Hada Lefanav V'Zetiferes V'Migasho Avol Adonai Mishpachos Amim Avol Adonai Kavachos Elai Havol Adonai Kevav Vod Shemot Samo Mincha Vayol Acharei Sabailai Ishachavu Ladonai V'Hadrat Kodesh Shelo Mimana Kol Haaretz Imrov HaGoyim Adonai Malach Atikai Tevel Balatimot Yadin Amin B'Mesharim Yisrael Shamayim V'Sagel Haaretz Alala Yerei Rav Hayah Salam Hayah Yana Sonai Lechol HaSheva Yailai Az Yeranenu Kol HaSe'ar Lifnei Adonai Kiva Nishvat The Chadodi on page 266. Chadodi lekras kavod hanei Shabbos ayin kabbalat Chadodi ala la la lekras kavod la 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 Shabbos ayin kabbalat la la Shamor v'zachor v'tibur echad Ishmi'anu v'nama yuchad Adonai yechad v'shma yechad V'shema seferes v'lithila L'chadodi ala la le Kraskan la 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 kanei Shabbos ayin kabbalat la 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 Lekra Shabbos l'chol v'nelecha ki makod ha'veracha v'rosh mikedem nevesucha Sod Masad Machshavat Achila Levavachadodi Yana la la ne Kraska Lavana la la Kaneve Shabbos ayin kabbalat la 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 Mikdash Melech Ir Malocha Kol Mitzay Mitzay Chafecha Rav Shevet V'yemek Avachamo Yachamod Allah Yichemna Levachadodi Ala la la le Kraska la 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 Kanei Shabbos ayin kabbalat la 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 Es narim yapar komi Lev shibigay sivate kami Anya ben Yishai Beis alachmi Korvaya nafshi ge'oda Levavachadoi di ala la la le Kraska la 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 Kanei Shabbos ayin kabbalat la 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 Hevesai Rabbi, Kiva Orech Kumi Ore, Ore, Shilda Berika Vaidana Yola Yichnik Lalevavachadoi Diala Lalai, Lemekros Kava Lalai, Hanei Shabbos ayin kabbalat. Okay, Mike. Ezra's just going to bed, so I'm just going to give a bracha before he goes to sleep. Yisimcha lehim ke'Acharei v'chimenashe. Yivarechacha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yiseim lecha shalom. Shabbat beloved. Okay. Thanks, Yiska. Okay. And we also got to see Yiska's Lego, which is obviously very, very exciting. You also show some of your art, that's true, yes. Yiska's doing lots of artwork. It's almost Shabbos. Good Shabbos, Barnet. What a week it's been. What an amazing community we have. As lockdown progresses and time in this very strange and difficult period continues, I'm constantly struck daily by the amazing community that Shoshana and I have been blessed to share with you. And thank you so much. Thank you so much to you for making this community the most special community on earth. Just the amount of volunteering, the amount of support, the amount of love that is being spread every day amongst hundreds of members is unbelievable. And I know that we have had already a number of bereavements again this week. And the outpouring of concern and care for all those that are mourning loved ones, it's unbelievable. So Yasher Koyach, we should capture this strength and only continue to go from strength to strength. The truth is, this week has been quite tricky. I feel like as lockdown is continuing, it can be difficult to stay focused. Shoshana and I are often reminding each other that we're on the same team. That every so often it feels like it's overwhelming. The situation is overwhelming. And that reminder, keeping the goal in mind, is such a powerful, powerful lesson that I'd like to think about that today. The power of keeping the goal in mind. And maybe to begin with a story. One of the previous Chabad Rebbe's of Chabad, Rebbe's of Lubavitch, one of the previous Rebbe's was told by his daughter that his sons were having an argument. One of his sons was saying, I don't see what's so special about the simple Jew. A very, very important facet of Hasidism is to recognize that every Jew, no matter whether they are particularly learned, no matter whether they are particularly righteous, every Jew is special. Every Jew is a shining light. And this young man, the Rebbe's son, was saying, I don't understand. What's so special about a simple Jew? And his brother, who was going to later on became the Rebbe, was arguing, no, there's something very special about a simple Jew, the Poshet Yid. So the Rebbe called his sons into his study and said, let's do an experiment. Come on, call in Ivan, the Russian stable boy. And so this experiment was intending to try and work out what's the difference between a simple Jew and someone else. They eat, they sleep, they work, What's the difference? They call in Ivan, the Russian stable boy. And the Rebbe asks Ivan, he says, Ivan, why do you work? Why do you look after the horses and have this job in our stables? So Ivan says, well, I need to earn a livelihood. I need to earn a living. And the Rebbe says, well, why do you need to earn a living? And Ivan thinks for a second. He says, well, I need to eat. I need to sleep. I need to have a bit of money. He says, what do you do? Why do you eat? Why do you sleep? Why do you need a little bit of money? He says, well, every so often I get to have a break with my friends at the pub. I get to sit and have a beer and relax. And the Rebbe says, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. And he sends him on his way. Then the Rebbe says, now call in Yankel, the kitchen boy, the little Jewish kitchen boy. So they call in Yankel, and Yankel's trembling. And the Rebbe says to him, Yankel, why do you work? And Yankel says, I work to earn a living. And the Rebbe says, well, why do you need to earn a living? And Yankel says, well, I need to eat, I need to sleep, I need to have a little bit of money. And the Rebbe says to him, Yankel, why do you need to eat? Why do you need to sleep? Why do you need to have a little bit of money? And Yankel pauses for a moment, closes his eyes, and then bursts into sobs. And he says, well, I need to eat and sleep. I need to be able to be alive so that I can do mitzvahs, so that I can connect to Hashem, so that my soul can be close to Him, and that when I die, my soul will go back to the throne of glory in a place that is good. And in tears, he breaks down in front of the Rebbe, explaining why he needs to eat, to drink, and to have a little bit of money. And so the Rebbe thanks him for his time and sends him on his way. See, they're doing the same thing. Yankel and Ivan, they're doing the same thing. Ivan works, Yankel works. Ivan sleeps, Yankel sleeps. Ivan eats, Yankel eats. But the difference is, what's the goal? What's the goal that they're holding in mind? And that can really make all the difference. Are you going to be doing faces to the camera now?
Yeah.
Okay. And that can really make all the difference. We're, hey darling, just put it down for a second. We are in the Omer period at the moment. We are counting.
Papa,
Yes, darling.
there's two of you, and also sometimes there's two people.
That's true, Bubby.
There's two of them.
That's true, Bubby. Can we be a little bit quiet for the next 5 minutes? Okay, thank you, darling. Thank you. Okay. We're in the Omer period. We're counting. And you could look at every day as just another day. Just another day on the count. Just another number. Or you could keep the end in mind. You could keep the goal in mind. What's the goal? The goal is to receive the Torah at Mount Sinai. The goal is Shavuot. The goal is to have our own personal receipt of the Torah. And so each day doesn't just become another day, another step. It becomes eternity. It becomes something special. Eating and sleeping isn't just eating and sleeping when it's done with keeping the goal in mind. It's not just the ephemeral of this world, it's the eternal of a mitzvah. And I think it's the same truly with lockdown. You know, there's two ways to go about relating to what's going on. One way is to say, look, I've just got to follow the rules. What can I do? These are the rules. We're stuck with the situation. It is what it is. And there's another way to go about it. Now, this way will look on the surface, it will look the same. Both people, the person who's saying we're just following the rules and the second person who's about to explore, they're doing the same thing. They're both staying in their homes, they're staying safe, they're getting their deliveries, they're not making unnecessary social contacts or trips. They're doing the same thing. But the second person is doing lockdown because they value life. They value the elderly and the vulnerable. They care about other members of society. And they recognize that what they're doing every day is saving lives, is protecting the people who we can learn from their life experience, and they need our care and our support and our love. Shh. Wait, darling, okay? Wait. You can say something in a minute, Bubby, okay? And so keeping the goal in mind can transform any experience. And that's what we actually just sang together. We sang together in Lecha Dodi. We said, Sof ma'aseh v'machshava tchila. The deed was at the end, but the thought was at the beginning. That when God created the world, he had in mind a certain destination. That destination was the seventh day, was Shabbat. The goal was to bring Shabbat into reality, to bring into a world an ability to connect to him. So my bracha to us as we count the Omer, as we take each step, each day, and as we observe this period, both in terms of the Omer and in terms of lockdown, is to keep the goal in mind. Know that we're going to the top of a mountain of life, a mountain of light, a mountain of love, a mountain of goodness that we can all strive for. It's called the mountain of the Torah, Mount Sinai, that we all get to climb every single year, a mountain of protecting life, of valuing each other, of loving each other, a special community that comes together. And every day should be imbued with that direction and that focus as we keep the goal in mind. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So lovely to see you. Yes, do you want to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody?
I want to say something.
You want to say something? What do you want to say?
That I got my art and craft.
You got your arts and crafts delivered. It's very exciting.
And the princess that I showed you, then it was from the art and craft.
That's true. That's true.
That I showed with.
Can you say Shabbat Shalom to everybody, please?
Shabbat Shalom. Bye bye.